Hi, and welcome to BROC Talk. I'm your host, Pam Shambo, Director of Marketing and Development at BROC Community Action. BROC Community Action has been offering hope, opportunity, and a path forward out of crisis or poverty to Rutland and Bennington County residents for nearly 53 years. An important part of our work involves creating partnerships and collaborating with community organizations. On this month's episode, I'm very excited to talk with a representative from a fabulous community organization, Recreation and Parks of Rutland City, to share about their awesome programs and events that are coming up through the Recreation and Parks is Superintendent Kim Peters. Thank you so much for joining me, Kim.
Thank you for the invite.
I think this is going to be a very informative show, even for me, as we were talking prior to coming on. I know that as far as activities for kids in the Rutland area, you can't beat what you've got going on.
Right.
I went on and printed pages of things, so why don't you just jump right in and talk about some, maybe some of the programs initially.
So, you know, I've been on the position for about 5 months, and it's every day is a learning. I'm like, oh, wow, we do that as well. So what I love about, you know, the recreation in Rutland is we have sports, we have camps, we have theater, we have arts. You know, it's not just a pigeonhole for sports where sometimes people think that. And then we have our outdoor activities with all of our parks. So we're always adding different activities at the parks we do a lot of free events as well. So one of the big programs and what everyone's anxious about is our new pool that's going to be coming up. It'll be 3 years. We've had a pool. We have not had a pool for 3 years. We are down to the last part of reconstruction, and we plan to open the pool to our lifeguards on June 11th to start our training. So I'll be training about 30 lifeguards.
Wow.
I'm one of the only certified instructors around. This will be my second year doing it with the YES plan. So Rutland High School does a great job with allowing us to come in and teach this class. So June 11th, we'll start that process, and on June 23rd, we will have a big opening day celebration.
That's wonderful.
And it'll be free to the public. Come and check out the pool. So we're super excited. We've had, and with that comes along all of our swim lessons, which are already starting to fill up. Oh, great. You can call the rec and sign up. If you're not sure of the level, you can call me. One of my backgrounds is actually in swimming. I am still a national swim coach, so it kind of comes with the territory. Right. We're also going to be adding a lot more lap swimming. Because we have 2 pools, it's going to allow for lap swimming without shutting it down. Right. So we want to really encourage the fitness aspect of it and encourage employees to come during lunchtime. So we'll have lunchtime only lap swimming. And then we have our family pool, which is a 0 entry pool that will have water features and a slide. Nice. And even in our family pool, there's 3 lanes that could also be used for swim lessons and water activities. We want to get our active seniors involved into the pool. It's a great way to exercise. And then we have a swim team. So we've been very fortunate to use Northwood Pool for the last 3 years, and we'll be building our team up again, and that will start right away. So that's kind of the aquatic side of it.
Well, I'll tell you, I have to tell a little story because I've been in Rutland my entire life, and or the Rutland area, and going to White's Pool was a big deal back when I was a kid. You could ride your bike on this back path, I can remember the path, and you'd ride it right up to the pool, and you know, you could go by yourself back then. Sure. And we would just, my parents bought the season's pass, and we just got to go in. And I remember the swim lessons, though, 7:30 in the morning, and it was freezing. But I'm very happy to see it come back. I was a very strong supporter of bringing it back.
Yeah, we've had really good support on it. And to talk about your coldness, both pools will be heated.
No way.
Yes, so they are both heated, which will definitely help because the mornings are very cool. And so we have our swim team and we have swim lessons. And I will say the pool will probably be warmer than the air most of the time.
Wow,
so that's awesome. Going to be a great addition. The other thing that our pool and that White Memorial Park in general, we're really looking at, making it look good, utilizing it to its full potential. So all of our day camps, which were typically inside, located in an inside location, we're going to be an outside camp now. So the base is going to be out of White Memorial Park. That's going to allow the kids to have lessons. That's part of their camp experience. They get lessons. They also travel, but this really makes it an outdoor camp. So they can utilize the tennis courts. They can utilize the baseball field. They utilize the basketball court, the playground. So our day camps are open, and we do have, every camp has a limit. So we're encouraging people to go out and sign up because we are offering the whole full 10 weeks this year.
Wow.
So
that's amazing.
It also becomes a good opportunity for parents that work.
Sure, of course, having the day camp, because you do before and after care too,
we do,
right?
And no extra charge.
Right, so I think that's right there, that's a great reason to get your child involved.
Right.
Not only for that, but for the amount of activity that they can get in a day, and they're not sitting home during the summer, video games or whatever it is that they do.
Right.
But it gives them an outlet for their energy, especially little guys. I know they need a lot of running around and, but keeping that kind of consistency in terms of rules and things, it also carries over, I think, after school,
Absolutely.
When you get your child into one of these camps.
Yep.
So you were talking about the parks. We might as well move right on to that. I wanted to, I was fascinated. I actually didn't realize that the rec center had this many parks that I printed out, and I'm like, wow, you guys really are doing a lot. So what is the Giuffretti complex?
So that is where our baseball fields are.
Oh, okay.
So our adult softball, we use it for practices, and then it's a great complex, and I call it the complex. There's different names. I'm learning, not being from Rutland, Vermont, I'm learning all the different names. So I try to refer to that one as the complex because it's easier to say.
Yeah, I couldn't say the word.
Yeah, and it is interesting the amount of parks that we have, and what's even more exciting, and I am really happy that I came into two of our maintenance department staffs are certified playground inspectors.
Wow.
So they actually go around to the playgrounds and they have it on their iPad and they mark, what needs to be fixed and making sure everything is compliant for safety reasons.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So we're really fortunate to have that within our maintenance department, and if something has to be replaced, we have different funding to replace different playground equipment.
And I actually didn't realize Godnick Adult Center is one of yours.
So right.
What is the connection there?
So the Godnick is with our seniors. We have Lori Hickey is our current program director there. She will be retiring.
Oh no!
But we're going to keep her on staff.
Everybody knows Lori.
Yes. April Chaffee will be moving into that role.
Great.
So that we have so many different partnerships, Council on Aging and Meals on Wheels, OSHER. Right. So it is a facility for active seniors. Every once in a while we do rent it out if somebody needs it at a very low price for the room, because it also has a kitchen.
Oh, okay.
So people might use it for reunions, and then in the summertime you have the back area, which is a really nice space that we plan on doing more with, and getting the word out that you can come in and rent the space, for reunions or for birthday parties. So lots of traffic. We get a lot of traffic that goes through there. I think what we're trying to do too at all of our parks and all of our facilities is count what's coming through our doors. Okay. How many people, and Lori's job is really interesting. I spent a day up there, and hers is a lot about relationships, building the relationships and talking and understanding and listening. And they do lunches every day there. They do bingo. I mean, the list goes on.
Right.
They have their
own.
They have a lot. Right.
Yeah.
So that's one of our facilities, and we also have Giorgetti, where I have a program director there, and that's also a well-oiled machine. It's every season. Actually, today and tomorrow they're taking out the turf and putting in the skate park.
Oh my goodness.
So that's our maintenance guys that go in, and it's quick turnover. They went from an ice rink to the turf, which took about a week.
Oh my gosh.
And so they have 3 seasons there that we're planning for.
Wow.
Yes.
And then you just replace the turf every time?
We just put it down. It's it's like a puzzle piece.
Yeah.
Putting it down. Yeah. But then we go right into turf season.
So the guys, you were saying your maintenance guys go around to every single one of these playground equipment here. I know that I've noticed that some of it is pretty updated, and I appreciate
Yes.
that. You know, you want
Right,
the
right.
safety factor there for
Yep.
the kids, because sometimes they go there on their own, and
Right.
you know, you don't want anything to
You don't want anything to happen.
That's for
Right.
sure. I appreciate that as a mother,
Yeah.
that I could see that these are, you know, really nice playgrounds that
Right.
are available.
And they take great pride in it, and they're out in our parks every day, whether they're getting the baseball field ready, getting the lacrosse field cut. One of our maintenance personnel, Zachary, he goes and he has a planned schedule of when he mows at every
wow.
certain, and to a T. So if I was to ask, how long does it take you to mow all of our facilities in a week, he'll be able to give that to me
Oh my
quickly.
goodness.
Yeah. They take, it's a science almost, and I guess you can say in some ways,
Yeah.
what they do.
And that's important though, because it's efficient.
Yes.
You know, he makes it efficient. It's
Very efficient.
Gets
Yeah.
through all these. It probably does take a while.
Right.
So let's go into some of the actual programs. I know
Yeah.
you said you're new, and
Yeah.
there may be a couple you might not be familiar with.
Right.
But I think you've had the overview of it by
Yeah.
now. I was just, again, I know that the publication comes out every
Right.
season, but I was like, wow, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Archery?
Archery. So, but you know, I consider ourselves an umbrella.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes in and says, can I do archery? Can I teach archery?
Oh, teach it. Okay.
Teach it.
Yeah.
And so, sure, go ahead. And we support that. We have the administration, we have the insurance, we have the
Oh,
capability.
okay.
So somebody comes in with a skill,
Right.
and we want to help support them. So if someone comes in, a yoga teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to add a yoga, so we just go through the process, make sure it's financially sound, and whether other programs might help support that the first year.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to be able to offer that to the community. We used to do fencing. Well, that person then
Yeah.
left,
Right.
so we don't have fencing right now. But if somebody else comes and says, hey, I want to teach, you know, fencing again, then we will provide that outlet, because we have the community reach. You know, we have this, you
Right.
know, we can do flyers, and we have the administration to help support these. And our archery program does very well. We're actually want to start a adult archery. Right now this is youth-based, but we've had some adults ask. And so the person that teaches it right now,
You wouldn't want me with a bow
Yeah.
and arrow, but
I mean,
you know, somebody else can do it.
I remember doing it in school, and you know, your fingers. But you know, then we asked our instructor, would you be willing to do adults? And she said, sure.
Wow.
So we just have to get the equipment and make it happen.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So I assume that with the equipment, as you're saying, that is probably where some fundraising comes in.
It does,
is so
right.
that you can
Right.
be able to purchase things like that.
Right, and fundraising, and also, you know, if we're charging a certain amount coming back, you know, we don't, in our programming, we do want to make some money. I mean, there is like a 20% that we would like to make, but we know that other programs will help support other programs to get them started.
Right.
We started a youth wrestling program for the first time this year, and you know, we expected 10 kids, and we got 40.
Wow.
We actually had 45.
Wow.
And it was a huge success. And so we knew the first year, you know, we had to buy the singlets, and we know that the first year we may not come out exactly
Right,
even,
right.
but we know next year how to charge, what
Right.
to do, and it was a huge success.
Yeah.
So
And by then you've got the equipment, and you know,
Exactly.
you don't have to redo
Right.
that part.
Right.
I know that I think that having those kind of outlets, the wrestling and things like that, are really good.
Right.
Activities for young boys that have
Yes.
lots of energy.
And girls.
Well,
It's
and
a
girls.
co-ed.
Oh, really?
We had 10
No
girls.
way.
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't have guessed that.
We did,
I
and we
wouldn't
had,
have guessed that.
you know, we call it co-ed, and actually one of our females won a tournament,
Oh
went
my
undefeated.
gosh, well, good for her.
So it was definitely co-ed, and it's, yeah.
Well, I
another-
apologize
No,
to
that's okay.
any young girls who were out there
That's okay.
wrestling. I wouldn't have guessed
Yeah.
that they would take an interest in that.
Yes, yeah.
So, and rugby, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That makes, is that adult, I hope?
No,
Well, it's under
so
youth.
that's teenage,
Okay.
teenagers. However, again, we have our instructor, our coach, is she's a teacher in the area, and I approached her a couple weeks ago. I said, how do we get the youth? It's high school girls now.
Okay,
How do we get younger kids involved? And that way we have a feeder program. So we're working on that next, is to get the kids involved. But yes, it's a very fun sport to watch, but if we don't start providing a feeder program, we could end up losing it.
Yeah,
So we're
that would be
working
too
on some fun stuff in the summer to start introducing it to 2 girls.
Wonderful.
Yep.
And the Rutland Youth Theater is even
Yes.
part of you.
Right,
at
it
the
is.
camp.
It is. It's the Rutland Youth Theater runs all year long. April Chaffee is my program director that oversees the program. They do a phenomenal job, and you know they perform at the Paramount.
Right.
But it is definitely its own entity. We just help support it.
Right.
You know,
so
we're
that's
there.
one of those that
exactly.
they needed the umbrella and
Exactly.
you know, the Rutland.
Yep, they keep their own funds. You know, there are some with
okay.
some of this, the way our programs go, that they can create their own activities account, and that way, if they need something, it's always there for them. So if they fundraise specifically for theater, they get that money.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't just blend in, and that's really what's unique about all of our programs too. If somebody wants to donate just to our summer camp program or scholarships, and we have that set up, so then the money comes straight out of there. So the youth theater does a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff is just how all of us
Right.
interact and partner and collaborate.
I truly was excited about is the partnerships, you know, going to Project Vision and listening and that partnership, Pine Hill Partnership.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't talked about that yet. I mean, what an amazing area of trails.
Right.
And most of it's on city property, and some does expand, you know, into Proctor, and it's a group of people that just wanted to see it happen.
Right.
And it's nice because they're not dictated by the city as well. You know, we help guide them and we support them. So
Okay.
they are become a partner. And what they're doing now, which is really good, is they're tracking how many people are walking and riding into the park. Because that's then going to help with, we just started it. That's then going to help with economic development.
Of course.
And how we get grants, sponsorships, how many people are actually using that. You can go. Actually, tonight, Thursday night, they have the Women's Mountain Bike Club.
Okay.
Shelley Lutz is one of our great partners who runs the Pine Hill Partnership. And I think right now they're at almost 30 women.
Wonderful.
It just continues to grow. So you go there on a evening like today where it's so nice out, and the parking lot will be full.
Wow.
And then at the same time, right down the hill, you've got Georgetti, the complex, and we've got the high school kids playing there.
Right.
So
the ball games will be going on.
Yeah, we have a great partnership with our high schools, and the city, you know, with MSJ and with Rutland High School and all the schools. We do a shared partnership where they might use our facility and we use their facility and the same resources. So it's nice.
I'm fascinated. I mean, that's just for kids, folks, you know. And then I picked up, went on the site for the adult programs. That's a whole nother ballgame.
Right, right.
I mean, this is talking about, you know, you have ice skating and stuff, which of course isn't going to be happening now, thank you, winter be gone. But you do adult softball, you have cooking. I mean, look at all this. This is amazing. And you do a self-defense for women, or is that another sponsored?
It is somebody comes in or the umbrella. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Music? What's with the music for adults?
I'm not sure if right now we have any music coming in, but we do have someone coming in that has music talent, and so she's planning on possibly she was talking about the guitar lessons. Yep.
Wonderful. And then, of course, soccer I remember well because I was a coach back in the day.
And I actually still play indoor adult soccer.
Do you really?
I do, yes.
Whoa.
It was a little bit different this year with me being the superintendent. I think some people took it a little bit easy on me this year, knowing that I was...
Don't do that, folks.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
That
is, and we have open, at Georgetti is nice because it's an indoor facility, so we do some open time where you can just come in, you know, and play soccer, and we actually have a field hockey adult.
Oh yeah, I saw that
field
too.
hockey as well, that's a league. And this year, because we did have kind of a rough spring, we allowed the high school athletes to come in and use like high school lacrosse, baseball.
Great.
They came in to that space right after school so they could actually practice.
Yeah, because the fields were certainly not ready to go.
They're barely still ready.
Normally would be.
Right.
So I wanted to talk specifically about some of the actual camps that you have. That you run. I know you do, you have basketball and field hockey camps.
Right.
And it looks like even a skateboard camp, flip side.
So the flip side, that's where Georgetti will be converting into a skate. And that is going to happen in the next couple days. Then we'll have an opening day. And all of our sport camps this year have an option to be full day. So some of the feedback we received was, my child would love to do the basketball, but I can't leave work. they're only half days.
Right.
And so what we've done is we've offered for, I want to say 75% of our sport camps, including all of our skateboard camps, full day options. So they would go do their sport in the morning. We have 2 vans that would then transport them to the pool.
Oh, cool.
And then it's an unstructured time for them. You know, we may have a couple games. They'll have a counselor that's assigned to them, and they have to check in with them. But they get access to the basketball court, to the tennis court. So it just gives them that. Well, I really like to think of summer. We do have our camps. It is structured, but it is a lot of unstructured time.
Right.
Where we're not dictating
kids
what you're
go
doing.
Swimming
That's
and
right.
they want to, you know, be running around.
Yeah. So we're really excited about our sport camps and our football and basketball. That's also run by. We partner with the high school coaches.
Okay.
And they come and coach them and bring some of their older athletes in. And we really emphasize that mentorship with the older athletes, the older counselors, to then mentor with those younger athletes.
I think that's a great thing to have them model,
Right.
you know, what it's like to be on a team and be a good player and a good sport
Sports,
and all that
right.
stuff. That's awesome that they're willing to come in and do that.
Yeah.
So now, with most or all of your programs, I would, from what I can see, you will serve preschool age to 110.
So,
it's any age.
And what I did see a gap when I came in was not, our preschool kids were not a lot of activities. So what we've done is we've added more. We're going to do a trial this summer of doing 3 weeks of full day camp for our preschool kids.
Ooh,
so brave. Now, when I was in Killington, we did 3, 4, 5-year-olds all 10 weeks, and it was great.
Oh,
we had
good.
a great time.
Good.
So we're going to try it this year in Rutland as well. And
Wonderful.
we have some half days that are still available. At the end of the summer, we're saying like a junior, come in and try this. And kids, the other thing we added was daily options. So if you don't absolutely need the childcare every day, you can also choose daily options to then help with your budget.
Wow.
You know, so you're not picking an entire week.
Right.
So you can do daily options as well.
Well, I know that having those options is probably very helpful for folks. But most or all, if I could say, have a scholarship piece to it, or is that
everything.
Is that true?
Yep.
Okay.
Anyone can come in and there's a paperwork to fill out. Within 24 hours, you find out where you fall. So if a family comes in, and we have a lot of families that are 75% scholarshiped, and so any activity they do, 75% of that would be taken off, and that's how much they owe.
And they would pay.
Yep.
Because that's sometimes is the
Yep.
you know the factor that prevents
Yep.
some of the kids in the area
And it's
from
nice
attending.
and we work with with our school system too, the counselors. So about this time, the counselors will start reaching out to us and saying, you know, can you help this family? And sometimes it's a reach out. And you know, they also have their tapestry programs as well, but tapestry doesn't go the whole summer.
Right.
So I work with the tapestry programs as well and say, okay, because we're not competing.
No,
you know,
of course not.
They do theirs, and we advocate for both, and we want both to be successful. And with that too, all of we're going to be so busy in the summer because all the tapestries use our pool.
Right.
So now they're trying to figure out which day they're coming, and Boys and Girls Club and different organizations like that to have the field trips to the pool. But we do work with them so that way, that last 3 weeks, because usually they have to close up shop because school has to get ready.
Right.
You know, they have to do all the waxing of the floors and stuff like that. So then we are there for help. You know, if somebody needs to go for that last 3 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's really great. And I mean, on top of all you do there, you also host and participate in many events in the area.
Right.
I know, I did just see that Chalk the Walk is postponed.
Yep, it'll be this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yep.
And there's a bike.
So the bike rodeo is going to be May 20th, 1 to 4. It's a free event, and it's a partnership with Kiwanis and also the Killington Pico Cycling Club. They do the bike helmets. You get fitted for a bike helmet. They give those out free. They simulate a bike course, so the kids get a ride on it.
Nice.
And it's a great event for the kids, and it's for 13 and under.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. And I know that there's a lot of things for families to do, like concerts in the park.
Yeah.
That's
super
always
excited.
Big
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah.
And I always just pray the weather's going to be
Right.
cooperative.
That's probably the hardest part is,
Yeah.
you know, to decide when you're going to call it and when you're not. But Yeah, we're really excited to kick those off June 20th, which is a perfect time because it's right when the pool's opening.
Right.
I'll be there. It's one of my favorite events. I did those in Killington. I can't wait to do them here. You know, I've attended them, but not in the position I am now.
Of being up there at the mic.
Yes, right.
We also always have the Halloween parade. It's sponsored by Rutland. Rutland Rec and Park. That's just something that will never stop. I don't think it's so Rutland now. It just says Rutland all over it.
And it's interesting because we start planning soon.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, and when I first moved here, so I've been here for 4 years. That was one of the first things people said is you got to go to the Halloween. So I've gone every year. This past year was about 2 weeks prior to me being officially, but I went. April said you're working it. So. That was good for me because I got to see it visually, see the behind the scenes. Our program directors, April and Nicole and Lori, and now we have Brittany, they are so passionate about these programs.
They are.
And events. And without that passion, you know, we wouldn't be where we're at. And even right now as we restructure, I was kind of having April give up some of her events and give it to somebody else. And she's like, well, I don't want to. You know, and so it's that. And then Nicole has taken such a big jump into all of our sports and a different way to look at how we do sports in Rutland, our partnerships and what's important, what's not important. We have formed a lot of advisory committees that are, you know, so if it's football, we want the passionate people there. We can't expect Nicole to know 20 different sports. Lacrosse, who is passionate and knows lacrosse? Who's softball? Adult softball is one of our big, you know, for our adult, and we've heard it's kind of gone down as far as numbers, and now we want to lift it back up. And so we invited about 10 coaches and 10 people that wanted to, and they all showed up. And they made some changes, and you know, and now we're into another new season.
Now it's coming up again.
Yeah. And so, it's those kind of things that we're working on, and then of course with our events, partnering with the different community.
Yes, and I was told to make sure you knew that you can have your 5K starting in the BROC Community Action parking lot for Halloween again.
Okay.
So so you're good for that.
Yes. Right.
That was a message I was to pass on to you.
And I used your bathroom when I went.
There you go.
2 or 3 times.
That works.
Yes. Right.
And you know, that's the thing. All of the organizations in our community, we help each other. That's what this is about, you know, is helping each other, whether it's just using a parking lot for a starting place to actually partnering on an event or something. But I know that you've got an awful lot of things. If anybody hasn't been on their website, go check it out, because I was floored. I mean, you open the tab and you go, whoa, you know, didn't realize that they do all these activities, these camps, these events, everything that you put your name behind. And like you said, you have a wonderful staff that take a pride in putting on the event. And I can speak, I met April this past week, and boy, is she full of energy. So I can see her not wanting to give up things. I definitely could. But I really appreciate you coming on, Kim, and talking about all of this. And I can't stress enough that you need to go on, check out their website, find out what's going on. There's something for everybody now. You know, they've even gone down to preschool. So if you have preschoolers and you're looking for a really cool activity for them to do, check out their website, and that information will be on the screen throughout the show. And Kim's email's there, so I'm assuming people could email you if they had questions, or give a call. What's the number there?
It is 774-1822.
Thank you. 774-1822. And we're going to make sure that all that information's out, and I really appreciate your time.